Middle childhood is an important time in a child's life. A child may face some issues, and today I'm going to talk about the issues, and I'll talk about some causes such as culture, which is the family environment and ways of living, and also social groups like interactions with peers and social environments. Before we get into issues children may face in middle childhood, we need to know what middle child is. Middle childhood is between 6 years and 12 years of age. Children tend to develop more cognitive capacities, self-regulation, and consolidation during this period, and this part of a child's life is very important for development. Now we can speak about some issues children may face. First, a child may face substance abuse and violence. This may be caused by poor family connection because that's how the families or the family's culture has been living in poor neighborhoods and family dysfunction. To help fix this issue, parents should be more involved, caring, and be more strict if the child is at risk. And also the parents and teachers can get more involved with putting the child in school programs to assure the child's safety and prevent them from getting themselves in trouble. Another issue is a child may lose a sense of self or identity. This can be caused by family culture. Some families are dependent on their children for help in the family, and this can affect them by making them grow up too fast for their age. To prevent this from happening, the parents should focus more on the child's achievement and encourage them to focus on their own life. Another culture cause that creates the issue of trouble creating a sense of self is how families raise their children in non-shared environments. Because of gender, like some Mexican families expect the girl to stay home and clean while men can do whatever, and this can affect the way the child behaves and interacts with others. There's also some families pay more attention to younger kids or kids that have health issues, which makes the other kid feel lost about their place in life and lose themselves. Parents need to create an equal environment and not neglect one more than the other. Some children may have trouble developing a social network and may have issues with physical development. The causes of these issues are some kids do not have social groups or peers to talk to because they have been kept from interacting with others from their parents because of a culture difference. To help with this issue, parents need to allow and encourage their children to participate in social practices and give their child support. Middle childhood could be considered a transitional stage to adolescence, and some children can have trouble adjusting to adolescence. This can be caused from lack of diverse social contacts, perhaps due to overprotective parents or no free time activities with others. When the child is introduced to different social contexts, they will be able to adjust better to adolescence and the different environment that comes with it. To help this issue, teachers and parents can help create activities the child can do and help them interact with others and their environments. During middle childhood, kids may face physical and emotional problems such as stress, anger, depression, and bad hygiene and low physical development that are caused by social groups that include bullying and victims of bullying and how parents treat their children. Some children may face low self-esteem, which makes them a bigger target for bullying, so parents can improve self-esteem by accepting and appreciating their child's individuality. For social groups such as the bullying groups need to be addressed by the school. Some children do not participate in anything. One cause could be early puberty, which can be caused by the culture and stress of home life, which then can lead to the lack of social groups because the child will not feel like they fit in with their peers. There's no real prevention in puberty, but stress does cause the building of more hormones, so the family can create a low-stress environment for the child and help reassure the child there is nothing wrong with them and get them to do more activities with peers. Early puberty could also cause deviant behavior, substance abuse, and psychological distress. There is the stress of not fitting in, which was mentioned in the last slide, and then there's the different social groups being made because of the feeling of having to mature. To prevent deviant behaviors, parents should have a talk and be more strict on the child's social groups and get help for the child if they feel like they aren't fitting in and if they have a substance abuse. If children do not have a good social environment, such as a negative home life, like living in a bad neighborhood or no social environments like school activities because of the overprotection because a child lives in a bad neighborhood, then a child may have trouble coping with stress because they do not have experience to adapt to different situations and may not have ways to escape bad situations. Parents should be role models to their children and react to situations in a way that is acceptable by society. Also, parents and teachers should create a good social environment like after-school programs and a safe way home and encourage children to be social with others. Some children have low performance in school and cognitive development compared to other kids their age. Some causes could be the culture of the family. For example, some families have working parents all day and spend no time interacting with their kids and just let them watch TV because the parents do not have time for them. This could also affect the child's social environment by preventing them from being in other activities because the parents are occupied with more important things. To fix this issue, parents need to be more involved and spend time with their children and encourage the child to participate in other activities. As mentioned on the last slide, family environments or culture that allows a child to watch TV and participate in this behavior prevents a child from being involved in education and physical activity. If the child focuses more on the TV than education, their skill level and motor coordination are negatively affected. To prevent this, parents need to be more involved and strict about rules at home and focusing on the child's education and change their family norms that would reduce physical activity and education level. There are children that have trouble interacting with others and some develop bad behavior. There are some cultures where the parents do not communicate with their children or try not to show that much emotion, which makes cause the child to have trouble knowing how to interact with others, or they see how the family interacts in a negative way and learn from that, which can cause bad social interactions such as bullying. Parents should watch how they act around their child and create a caring, loving home and give their children opportunities to grow a larger social group. The parents should also teach their children pro-social peer interaction skills. Everyone comes from a different culture. I feel like low income and overprotection of families are a part of culture because it is something they have learned from the families before them or it was passed down. So in the low income families, a child does not get the same opportunities as children who have more, and when families have low income, they may live in a bad neighborhoods and parents prevent their children from going out and joining things because they do not want the child out in the bad neighborhood. The community needs to give equal opportunities to children and protective opportunities. The parents should come up with a plan on how to get the child to activities in a safe way instead of preventing them to get involved into physical activity and social relationships because that affects the child's physical wellness and motor development. Lastly, some children may develop learned helplessness, which is passive behavior. The family's culture is a cause of this because there are some families that do everything for their children and making decisions for them, which causes them to be passive and depressed and hopeless because they do not feel like they have control. To prevent this from happening, parents and teachers need to allow children to make some decisions on their own and let them know they do have control of some aspects of their life.